Hello.
Sorry.
Alright. First off, how is everybody doing today? Good.
Work the room, Pat.
Hey, first of all, I want to say thank you for everybody who traveled this far to go see my beloved, our beloved Nan, to send her off. Because we all love her so much dearly, as she loved every single one of you guys as well. First off, I just want to start saying that there's just so much to say about Nan. She was an angel, earth angel, now our guardian angel. And she had superpowers. She never failed to make anybody she ever met or locked eyes on feel loved in any way. She was one of my favorite people in the whole world. Sorry, I don't want to start crying, but it's gonna happen. The first phone number I ever remembered, even before our own home phone numbers, was Nan and Pop's. Probably because I called them all the time. When I was younger, I didn't have too many friends, but Nanny and Pop-Up were my best friends, so that made everything up for that. I felt like when I talked to both of them, I always felt like I learned a lesson about myself, from them, or about life in general. So I will list a few things that I wrote down. Also, this was like at 3 in the morning because my mind was just racing thinking about her, and I couldn't stop thinking, okay. You were so motherly to anyone, especially your in-laws, Aunt Paula, Uncle Chris, Uncle Bo, and my father. You always treated them with open arms, wide gaze, open heart, and just so much love. So much love to the point that they felt like they were one of your own. And I think that's something very special and magical to have from someone because you don't see a lot of that in the world this time. What I love about Nan is that she created a family who had a lot of differences. But one thing, for example, Uncle Kevin likes to camp, my mom likes to go glamping, so it's different things. But one thing that they all four co's, that they also pass on to their grandchildren, that we all share is Nan and Pop-Up's big heart. Even though they were 2 states away, there was never a single day that none of them were ever alone. Morning, afternoon, or evening, because we all loved them so much, and they always did the favor to one of us as well. And if they could, they would be with us. So we learned that family comes first from them, and we love them so dearly, and we know that she's still with us, and so is he. And she made me realize one more thing, that no matter what in life, it ends. She told me that, specifically, she says, what makes life precious is that it doesn't last forever, and that it ends. So don't spend time holding grudges or altercations. Learn to live and let love, like my nanny and Pop-Up. She said, "Hon, you gotta stay in the present, because someday you're gonna look back and you'll be like, wow, that went all by so fast. So make every single day worth it for Nan and Pop-Up and for everyone else who loves you and who you love." And I'm just super thankful, and yeah, so thanks, and that's it. It's beautiful, right?
I probably don't even need it. I'm loud enough. Nanny was a woman with many attributes. She had a young, youthful spirit, a great sense of humor, and she was a fabulous cook for everyone. She was loving, caring, giving. As soon as you would would walk into the door, she would ask you if you wanted anything to eat, and even if you said no, there would be a warm meal in front of you within minutes. Nanny loved being with her family in the Pines. She was a wonderful caretaker for Papa and attended his every need. In the summer, she would sit around the dining room table with her daughters playing 500 rummy like the little amazing player she was.
And she won every time.
She gave her grandchildren the best childhoods and never said no to playing mini golf, going to the boardwalk, going to the pool, or the beach. Every beach trip the family would take would have a cooler packed to perfection with the right amount of sweet, salty, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Nanny was the best cook in the world, and that's the truth. She made the best mashed potatoes on the East Coast, lump-free. The best gravy maker and seasoner of foods. As good as the chef she was, she also liked to snack herself. Nanny loved her cheese doodles, buttered pecan ice cream, and her chocolate symphony bar. No nuts. Our family would sit around her driveway in chairs while listening to Frank Sinatra, Neil Diamond, and Frankie Valli, all played in the background. Her driveway was bordered with her beautiful flowers and plants that she would take care of in her garden. This little Nanny also loved going to the casino. She would tell Pop-Up she would be going for a haircut and then would return hours later with a little less money and her hair still uncut. She would spend her nights in the living room with American Idol on the TV, her iPad in her hand, and her cup of tea on the table next to her. Nanny was an angel on earth who loved her family and made sure they felt her love always and unconditionally. Hearing her voice calling you hon or babe will always be something people always miss. She has always been a steady constant in everyone's lives, and it will always remain that way, even though she is now in heaven. Our sweet Caroline was a compassionate, genuine, and selfless woman who we're blessed to have as ours.
A lot of pressure, I know everybody wants to eat. By the way, Nicole, that was great. Patrick, who's Patrick? Patrick, that was phenomenal. I can't do anything better. I just want to say a couple of things, and a little bit similar. I'll give you a real story that Father Kikuchi didn't share with you. Carol is, I've been blessed with two mothers. One big family. You know, when she loved you unconditionally. She accepted you for who you were, faults and everything. Never judged. Always loved. Always had a meal. Even no matter how much we might have sinned, especially right here in this place. I got home at 2 o'clock in the morning. She'd be ready with do you want something to eat? And of course, now she passed that down to Kevin, because Kevin was those 2 o'clock in the morning sandwiches. But I just think of a couple things, and I'm saying this because what I'm hoping is that, especially for our family, she raised 4 beautiful children, who in turn raised 7 beautiful children, and we were just fortunate to become part of the family. My brothers-in-law, Chris and Anthony, and my sister-in-law Paula. Carol would say I was her most favorite. But I know she said that to Chris and Anthony too when I was there. So again, she treated everybody the same way, everybody fairly, non-judgmental, just a loving person. So I think about the Lord's Prayer. It was mentioned today. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay? Carol did God's will on earth. Okay? Not many people do that. And when I was asked to come up with, can you think of a story to tell about Carol? I honestly can't. Because she was just there all the time. Present all the time. Some of the things that Patrick and Nicole said, but also she'd be the first one at Jolly Roger going down that monster slide, even though we were all scared shitless. She'd be the first one to go down there with her kids. She was that kind of a person. So I really believe she's in the right place. And I just want to say one more thing, which I hope helps. 2 weeks ago when she passed away, you know, we were there, Jess, myself, Denise, Lisa, and yeah, we were sobbing, yeah, for the most time, just waiting and talking to her, and Denise was constantly motivating her. She was more beautiful than ever. And somebody asked me, well, how would you describe what that was? And the first word, Denise, you can attest to this. Lisa, I know you can. Jess, it's just beautiful. And who would categorize a passing as beautiful? But when she passed, let me digress a minute. About 11, 12 years ago, I met a person in Penn State, an adjunct professor, David Demers. And I was going to a cocktail party for one of our supply chain events, Patrick, and the guy who was running it said, hey, you're never going to guess who's here. I'm like, oh, he was Dave. Remember Dave? He said, yeah. I thought he died. He said, no, he was in a coma for 4 months. He had a massive heart attack, and as luck would have it, or fate would have it, the trauma center at Penn State just had opened up like a couple days before. So instead of having to medevac him to Hershey for that kind of acute treatment, you know, he was taken right there, and he was on life support for 4 months. Last rites given, everything. There was really not much hope. And one day he woke up. So this guy's telling me he's going to be here at the party. I'm like, oh, cool. So he shows up, and I remember him, and I said, Dave, I'm just amazed. I'm blown away. I'm so happy you're here. I said, can I ask you a question? And he said, well, you can ask me what everybody asks me, right? What was it like? You know, was there a divine intervention or something like that? I said, yeah. I said, I hope you don't mind me asking. He said, no, not at all. He goes, I would tell you. It was beautiful. I saw my mother. They talk about the light. I saw it. Okay, I was so at peace and happy. And then I woke up. He goes, and I can tell you, I'm not afraid to die. I know what's on the other end. Okay, so without sounding like Father Kikuchi, you know, to kind of put this in perspective, we're mortals. We're fearful. We don't know what's going to happen when we go. We're humans. And that day, 2 weeks ago, in the final few minutes, right, Nan opened up her eyes. She hadn't opened up her eyes for almost a week. You know, she was pretty vegetative. She opened up her eyes wide, beautiful eyes. By the way, she looked beautiful, as beautiful in that bed as you see in these pictures. I mean, she's amazing. She opened up her eyes and she stared at us. And I know like Harvard Medical School say, well, that's just physiology. That happens, you know, it's the last thing that happened before people pass. Oh, not at all. No, that was a message. That was a message. And I think she was saying she was at peace. She's probably with her mom, her dad, and she was telling us it's okay. So it was so peaceful and so beautiful, and I just think that, you know, that guy I met 11 years ago that shared that experience, it's sort of like the disciples after Christ died and rose, you know, and the tomb was vacated. They were still fearful. They heard all the stories, but they didn't know. You can't understand this. We're mortals. And so Christ appeared a number of times to show them, to give them a little evidence that they needed. And I think that's still going on today. And I think that happened 11 years ago, and I think that happened 2 weeks ago, where Carol was telling us it's okay. So I only want to share that. I'm out of here. I just want to share it because I don't want people to feel bad. And it's so easy. That's a human emotion. But she's in the right place, and Lisa and I were just saying on the way over here, I feel like she's still here. I feel like Pop-Pop's still here too. You know, so I hope that's what everybody leaves with, and I'll
Cheers to
leave.
that.
And,